Alright, I know it's the time of international breaks, but I want to quickly talk about club football real quick, or in particular Al Nassr, because I'm a Nasrawi, and if you follow me for soccer stuff, then you know I'm a Nasrawi. I'm following Ronaldo wherever I go, and I'm also very political in football clubs as well, or at least I look into what happens internally. So Al Nassr they have pretty good management to hide this rumor because they hid it like no one knew about it. Postecoglu is appointed by Al Nassr as their manager as of a day or two ago. It was official yesterday, but the signing was actually done quite a while back. There were no links or rumors before the announcement, which was yesterday. So Postecoglu is the Al Nassr manager. Personally, from a Nasrawi and from someone who watches a lot of football, not just one guy, I don't think this is the right move for Al Nassr, and I don't think that this will bring Al Nassr much success, respectfully, towards Postecoglu and Al Nassr management and directors, because they are good by bringing Jesus, and they had a pretty good first season, which did fascinate me a bit. But the reason why I'm not fully convinced or very optimistic about this is because I don't think that Postecoglu is right for Al Nassr, and I think that getting someone who's a bit more offensive minded would have been a better option, because Jesus has built a reputation for himself built on trophies, winning mentalities, and even if you pick up an injury, if it's not that great, like if it's not a bad injury, then keep going, because that's what's needed of you. You have to keep going regardless of the obstacle, because that's how life is. You keep going, and if you keep going, you're going to end up winning, and you just keep doing that, and you're going to win more and more and more, right? Even if you lose a couple of games before the season ends and you're in a title race, even if you tie second before the last day of the season, you could still win the last day, which is exactly what happened at the end of last season, right? We got cooked by Al-Qadasiyah, we got shocked by Al-Hilal, and we ended up winning the league. And we had one game left, right? That's the winning mentality and constant pressing and attacking, and when we got countered, we did suffer, but we played with heart, and in the end, that's how we won the league. Now, with Postecoglu, he's not very like that. He chooses one tournament. And for Jesus, on the other hand, it was, we could win everything, right? Because Postecoglu, I'm not convinced he's the ideal fit, because he's not like Jesus. And Al Nassr is a team, or historically is a club that drives for success and keeps running towards it. And I don't think that Ange Postecoglu fits that profile. I don't think he's like Jorge Jesus, and I don't think he's like any other offensive manager. He drives a back four, but turns it into a back two, with the midfielder dropping for a back three. That could have worked. Except, one, we got rid of Octavio, and Octavio would suit the system very well. Second, we might get rid of Brozovic, which I hope does not happen, and I think Ronaldo had convinced him to extend his contract for another season, which I read somewhere, and I hope it's true, because Brozovic does get another season, or another 2 seasons, if Al Nassr approves his other 2 seasons, because Brozo wants to stay here for 2 seasons. Then I think it would be a lot better for Postecoglu, because when you get countered and your defensive mid drops, that does form a back line of 3 with 2 center backs, and that's what Brozovic does, and that's how Jesus handled it sometimes on counters, and that's also how Luis Castro handled it sometimes on counters, and that's exactly what Postecoglu needs. Postecoglu needs someone like Brozovic to stay. If he leaves, then I don't know who he's going to sign to replace him. Also, Postecoglu has nice tactics, but it's like the right tactics, the wrong players for Postecoglu, right? And most of those were inherited. But this is a good team. There's no reason why he needs to sell Brozovic. Also, if he's going to have inverted fullbacks, then a lot of the things in the room have to change. Because the fullbacks, they are overlapping fullbacks. They don't go inward, right? And if you are to swap them inward, then Sultan would move to the left because he's right-footed and you would use your right foot to shoot. And Nawaf could use both, right? But there has to be a change there that I don't know how it's going to work. And another thing is that Postecoglu does not, or has not, consistently built his career by winning titles. So I'm not convinced with this guy. Now, there's another thing I do want to point out. We talked about Brozovic. Inigo Martinez, again, he is going to stay. Brozovic is exiled from the preseason training camp, and his contract is over, but he just wants to play here. And I'll keep it a buck with you, this guy's still decently fast for his age and his physique right now. Right, this guy is not all that bad, and this guy was a key player to our success last season, because this guy knows how to be a cam. He knows how to drive a little bit to the wings. He knows how to push up and create a play, and he knows how to defend. He knows how to cover the middle, and he knows how to keep a 3-back. This guy is exactly the profile player that Ange Postecoglu needs. And if he sells this guy, I don't know what other player who's the same quality as Brozovic, which is not Luka Modric, that you sign, right? And also, we need a big player that has a lot of experience as well, right? Because the only way we get a youngster is if this youngster has already broken into a senior team and is performing. But we can't just go get a player who plays in a league that it's only 2 teams competing for the title, and sign the midfield player in the team that won the league. We can't do that, right? So there has to be a proper scouting if Brozovic leaves, and I hope he does not. The other one is Wesley, the guy that we bought from Corinthians. He is either going to be on loan or he's going to leave. I don't know why Postecoglu would sell this guy, because he wants to reshape. Postecoglu wants to reshape the list, and he's creating new plans. But I don't know why he would get rid of Wesley, because Wesley, one, he's really fast. The other one is that if he's going to have inverted fullbacks, then we need a winger who will run down the line without running towards the inside. And the inverted fullback would be like the winger who's on the inside and who's going to shoot to the net. And I know that Sadio Mane could play that position, but also Sadio Mane has gotten injured a couple times last season, and when he's out, we don't perform good, because Ancelo's not as good on the wing, and Ancelo is actually a right wing, he's not a left wing. And Wesley is a left wing, so that's where we would need to keep Wesley, right? Because Wesley would stay on the line, and then as Sultan or Nawaf runs up, or Ayman, we give the ball to him, he gives the ball to him, and that's it. He takes a shot, score or miss, doesn't matter, right? So to me, it doesn't make sense why he would want to get rid of Wesley unless he plans to move Ayman back to a winger, which I think is unlikely, only for the offensive fullback tactic. And another thing I do want to point out is that the games where Brozovic did not play and Mane did, we also struggle a lot on those games. And I'll check it right now to make sure I'm not talking out of my ass. When Al Nassr played Gamba Osaka for the Champions League second final, like the Champions League 2 final, Mane played, and he played decently, but Brozovic was not there to feed it to the wings, right? Or to keep the back line of 3 when the fullbacks were attacking, right? It was Al Hassan and Sar Al Nassr. Without Brozovic, I don't see how Postecoglu's tactics or his system will work here. So, to contend for the league, we would need to find someone as good as Brozovic, which I think is like a Yomland or an Arsenis. More Yomland because Arsenis doesn't play center half, going in between the center backs for a back 3. I think that it has to be like a Yomland. It can't be a Luka Modric because he's not going to come here, but it has to be that kind of profile player. And honestly, there are not many midfielders like that who would be sold to a Saudi Arabian club who are already playing in Europe, right? So there has to be a very, very intelligent scouting if Brozovic leaves. Now, again, he didn't start, we didn't score, and that was it, right? And I think he didn't even come on, because I think that for this game he was injured, and yeah, he was. When Brozovic or Mane do not play, we get cupped. So, again, I'm gonna stress it one more time, because I know the importance of Brozovic to this team. If Brozovic leaves Al Nassr, we are in big trouble, unless we sign and hit the fucking lottery. And the same thing with Wesley as well. If Wesley leaves, someone else who could play left wing is Pedro Gonçalves, but that was only if Jorge Jesus stayed, and he didn't. So, I don't play, or I'm not used to the style that Postecoglu plays, so I don't know how exactly he's going to rebuild it, but, yeah, se complica. It's a little complicated now. And you know what? The league is gone because he cannot adapt to playing other managers who are outplaying him, right? Because when you are playing a back 3, you need someone who could also play a center back. Al-Kaibari can play center back, so can Brozovic, but Brozovic handles it better under pressure. And if he starts Al-Kaibari over Brozovic, if he's sold, Al-Kaibari will make many mistakes and will get scored on many times. So I think the league is gone. The league, I think, is gone. However, other tournaments like the Super Cup, the Kings Cup, the AFC Champions League, I think those are very possible with his tactics. But again, there has to be that winning mentality, and he just doesn't have it. At least, not that I have seen or observed. Because this guy chooses one tournament or another. If this guy knows he's not winning the league, he's not even going to put anything in it. He's going to cower away from it. And that I don't like. So yeah, I think the league is gone. I don't think we're winning the league. I don't think we'll be in league league contenders. I think that Al Nassr would be more mid-table team by the end of the season. I think we could win one trophy that is domestic or international, like the Champions League or the Kings Cup or the Super Cup. It has to be one of those. But also, Al Nassr, especially with these guys, I don't think there's much room for much space for wiggle room, because this guy, the old guy, Jesus, he made history at Al-Nassr, and now we want to see that again. But that may not be possible, right? It could be possible in the Champions League, but in the league I don't think it'll happen. And what's worse is that I think if he does do this rebuild and it doesn't work out, I think that, one, the fans will be pissed. I will be pissed. I also think that there will be conflicts internally at the club. I think there will be locker room problems. And I also think that he will get sacked if the fans run out of patience with him. Because, I'll be honest with you, I prefer Al-Nassr win the league than another domestic title. And I also prefer Al-Nassr win the league compared to the AFC Champions League. Why? Because the AFC Champions League, the reason why I would choose the league over those other trophies is the same reason why Al-Nassr won the league last season. Because the league, in there, it's your own country, your own fans, your own stadium. And you can win it all there. And the other one is that if we win the Super Cup, but not the league, and get cooked in the league constantly, the consistency there is that Al-Nassr gets beaten a lot when it cannot defend itself against counterattacks. Right? Hence why I wouldn't sell Brozovic. And if we consistently lose, what does that say about us? We're consistent losers that don't know how to defend and don't know how to score. Because if we constantly lose and we're not scoring enough and we're not defending as well as we should. So, I have many doubts going into this next season. If things do not go on the way to his plan, I don't know who Al-Nassr signs after that. Because the manager market right now, since I was last updated on it, is not very big at the moment. Andres Iraola went to Liverpool. This guy's now here. Sergio Conceição proved that he can't be in this league. That he's not, he will not do very well in it. I don't know what other managers there are that could handle egos like Ronaldo's and Mane's, who hate being subbed off. And I don't know another manager who would make these players perform every other day the maximum they can, right? Because if Mane gets pissed and isn't getting enough playing time, because he hates being subbed off, he's gonna be pissed, and so will Ronaldo be. And we just saw that over the weekend against Croatia. They hate it. And if this guy said that these guys don't fit a system, who are the Al-Nassr CEOs going to hear? Are they going to listen to Mane and Ronaldo, or are they going to listen to Postecoglu, which is not doing well in the league? And that's where things, I think, for me, would fall apart. So, I guess I kind of rambled about this all too much, but I'm very worried again for next season. I have many doubts going into next season once again. And if it's not meant to work, it's not meant to work. But if it doesn't work out, then I hope we get back into the title race and get into the Champions League for the upcoming season. The season after this season, I mean. And one more thing. It was something regarding what Postecoglu said a while back. Exactly. Okay. I always win trophies my second season. And that kind of connects to every dot I just talked about. And because of that, going trophyless on the first season, I would be pissed. Then I said I always would be pissed. And they would wreak havoc in the club. So, yeah, that's it. I've rambled far too much already. The next games are the games for tomorrow will be for the World Cup. Brazil and Norway and Mexico and England. Two very, very interesting games. So yeah, that's it for now, and see you next time. Oh yeah, the Portugal light switch video, that one's going to be coming out in a couple hours, so see ya. Till then.